Is sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. How are we doing today? Let's do some pro wrestling. It's going to be a great time. David Difference, what's going on?
Oh, what a difference a day makes. Happy New Year.
All right, and we got the live stream going. Got a little glitch there to start things off, but hey, it's all good.
We're in there.
150, Dave. 150 shows, and wow, you all right there, buddy?
Yeah, man, a little raspy.
A little raspy,
brother. Yeah, 150, man, that's huge.
It's a lot. It's a couple years plus of shows.
Yeah, what is that? About 2.5 years?
Yeah, we had some extra shows in there. We got a few in on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, hats off, man. I mean, that is a milestone right there, 150.
Yeah, so we're having an awesome time bringing you the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We've got at least 2 guests. We're waiting to see if poor Jeremy Lambert, who had to do a bunch of transcription on that scrum from AEW Worlds End last night. How'd you like to have to do that?
Yeah. It was almost as long as the pay-per-view.
That scrum, well, it was only 2.5 hours. So that's not bad.
It seems a little wild.
Oh, my God. And by the way, I'm going to apologize to the entire wrestling community for not flying to Long Island last night. I'm just going to apologize right now.
Okay, get that out the way.
It's my fault. I'm sorry that the scrum sucked.
Oh, boy.
It is.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because if you watched it last night, Dave, let me ask you a question.
All right.
I know that you are not a professionally trained journalist, but you do interviews.
Okay.
You do good ones on your YouTube channel.
What is a professionally trained? I guess school and...
You've taken some classes and, maybe possibly gotten a degree.
All right. I'm with you.
So Samoa Joe's sitting there at a table in front of you. You're at a press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 questions.
You want that I would ask?
Maybe 1 or 2 questions based on what happened last night that you're going to ask Samoa Joe. Boom, go.
How you feeling, brother? 1.
You won the world title. How you feeling? Okay. I can go with that.
What's next, brother?
What's next? What else you got? How about based on what happened? What the events leading up to this?
Mm-hmm.
What else you going to ask Joe? Let's get a little deeper on this.
You asked me what I would ask him?
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what you would ask him because you're the one apologizing for not being there.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
You made a deal with the devil.
Yes.
How long was this going on? No one asked him that. Nobody. Do you know what hey, Joe, how you feel being a world champion? Hey, Joe, what's it like? It's been a while since you've been a world champion. What's different now? Joe, how you feeling about being a world? Oh, my God!
Yeah.
My God!
Okay, settle down, Mark. Yeah, well, you're the king of the scrum, man. You should do a scrum training.
Help me.
You're the scrum bag.
I just couldn't believe it. I stayed up and watched some of that, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm not perfect. Look, I'm not perfect, but that's got to be a question you got to ask him.
Well, do you think
Even if it's kayfabe, fine, but you gotta ask.
Right. I mean, do you think they just sweep that whole part of it under the rug?
How can you?
Well, I don't know. I'm curious to see why.
How long you been working with Adam Cole? How long have you guys been planning this out?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't play into the finals of the match. I mean, to the so
Yeah,
maybe
it
it was
did. They set him up.
Well,
they've been setting him up for months.
Yeah, all right. So,
Adam Cole's been setting him up since that time limit draw over a year ago.
So we got the answer. Over a year
Joe,
ago.
when did you get in on this thing? How long did you know it was Adam Cole?
I knew it from the beginning, Mark. Next question. See, that's what you would have got. And then would you have followed up with anything?
If I'd have had the opportunity. We're not supposed to ask follow-up questions in the scrum.
Wow.
But come on. Anyway, sorry, man. I didn't mean to lead off with a gripe. But come on, guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man.
They literally, you got to have, here's a tip. For any of you that are starting a wrestling website, I'm going to give you a little, or if you're doing any type of journalism,
okay.
if you're at a press conference, don't just have one question ready to go. Okay. Like you're going to get one shot to get called on, right? Mm-hmm. Don't have one question, say, okay, this is the question I'm going to ask. And this is it. You got to have 3 or 4 ready because if somebody else asks that question, you got to have another one ready and another one and another one. If you're the last person to go, you might get 3 of your questions wiped out. You got to be ready. Come on, guys. Come on.
You should do a webinar.
I should. I mean, I'd probably make a mint. You know what? I'm putting that down. Hey, Siri, do a webinar. Reminder, do a webinar. There we go.
There it is. That's
done.
First goal for 2024 is set. The Scrum Bag webinar.
There it is. See, there she's telling me I did it.
Well, you ain't did it.
Anyway, but Samoa Joe is the new AEW World Champion. And as predicted, Adam Cole is the devil. I would have made a little money, by the way, if Britt Baker was the devil. I lost a tiny bit. I made a little bet on Friday night.
You thought it was Britt Baker?
I made a side bet that Britt Baker was the devil.
Well,
that would have been fun.
Yeah, I think we all knew what it was going to be, right?
Yeah, a logical conclusion, but it was really neat to see people were digging up clips of stuff that was popping up in the background, just little things that Adam Cole had been doing over the past 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
Like there was one where Adam Cole was patting him on the back and then turned it into a fist and, like a stab in the back.
Yeah.
Just tiny little things.
Nuances,
Yeah.
When he hit the button to start the video in his pocket, you saw that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's so much, man. It's Scooby-Doo and the squad had their work cut out for them.
But it was pretty cool. So Adam Cole will now be along with Wardlow, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, who are now by the way, after what happened on Wednesday night, who took the Ring of Honor World Tag titles, so they've got some belts, are going to be torturing MJF for a while. And when we have one of our guests, of course, Danny Limelight's going to be coming up here in a little bit.
Mi gente. Yeah, can we get him on the air, man? Because I need some good energy. Well, you're already coming in yelling and screaming and talking about the journalists don't know what they're doing, man. You're attacking everybody. It's New Year's Eve.
Well, he'll be on in a little bit.
Let's get him in there. Danny Limelight, get in.
Well, he'll be on in a while. We're going to go on after the break.
Oh, all right. Well,
that's when I set it up.
Let's get him sooner.
But we can't. He's not here. But we'll have him on in a little while. But yeah, we'll get it. But we're also going to have Ucchino on, our good friend, journalist out of Cincinnati, radio guy, does a ton of wrestling stuff. He's going to be joining us. And I said, hopefully we'll get Jeremy Lambert on as well if he wakes up. But he had to suffer through all that, poor guy. So should be a fun show today. Had a couple of good matches. I think it was a little unfortunate. Some injuries kind of messed up the pay-per-view last night. But boy, did Christian come out smelling like a rose last night. bleeding like stuck pig too, but
Yeah, that's my guy.
lost and won the TNT title.
Whew.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. What was the reaction? How was you watched it at Red Rock? Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the turnout? How was the
turnout wasn't that big. They don't get that many people for the theater, but the people that were there had a pretty good time.
Anybody we know?
I don't know. It was dark, but Ricky Tenacious and I were out there watching it.
Oh, Ricky was there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ricky.
Yeah. So we had a good time enjoying that. But the interesting part about that pay-per-view last night was it was kind of a build-up from, it was like the old days, where you kind of started slow and worked your way up. Yeah, that's what happened last night.
To the payoff, yeah. A lot of payoffs last night.
Yeah, it was the matches toward the end were pretty cool, but Keith Lee did not perform last night. He was hurt, and they set the match up on Wednesday, and then he couldn't go, so Swerve wrestled Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a good match. I mean, Dustin, great performance.
Clobbered him.
For a while, it was get out the old cinder block before the match started.
Yeah. I like that.
But Dustin got back into it, and then Swerve clobbered him.
Yeah, Swerve about to be that guy. I mean, Swerve is that guy. But
boy, and I'll tell you what, with this situation with Samoa Joe having the world championship now, and Adam Cole's boys running around here, boy, that puts Swerve in an interesting spot, doesn't it?
A lot of interesting avenues.
Yeah, because where does Swerve fit into this now? And Joe, because really, you got to think those guys are eventually going to turn on Joe and try and get we would think Adam's going to get the world title at some point off of him. So where does Swerve come into it?
Do we think, I mean, they all had a mutual hatred for MJF. I think now it's back to business. I don't think Samoa Joe's in cahoots with these guys any longer. I think it was what it was. And there you have it. But then Adam Cole, yeah, there's got to be a purpose to it, right?
Yeah, I mean, somebody's going to get the world title off of him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and I think it, I don't know. Yeah.
You can't make a deal with the devil without paying a price.
Yeah.
Right?
So they say, man, through the course of history. I haven't made one. Have you?
Not lately.
No.
I mean, the one last week didn't go so well, but
which one was that?
No.
Tell me about it.
I didn't make a deal with the devil.
I'm sure you did.
Not today.
Not today. Well, last week you said.
but that whole group, it's going to be. I think AEW did a very smart thing putting this pay-per-view on December 30th, because had they waited, they were going to give WWE a clear path with the Royal Rumble and getting into WrestleMania season. And now they've got this storyline out there ahead of the Rumble. So it didn't get buried. So now you have the chance to build this thing up going through Rumble season. I would imagine the conclusion of this will probably be it All In. I would think in August. We're going to get that same main event.
Samoa Joe, MJF?
MJF and Adam Cole. I would think. They both need some time to heal up. Obviously MJF is just busted up like crazy, which is, I'm sure, part of the reason why he lost last night. I mean, the shoulders a wreck, his hips a wreck. Adam Cole has got that. I mean, he was still on crutches last night. I mean, that ankle is still just torn to shreds. So they're going to get to do a nice verbal tete-a-tete here as we get to see all the vignettes and the promos and the clues. And this is going to be fun, some fun TV for the next month.
Yeah,
with this whole thing.
It'll be all we got is a month.
I'm sure for a month or 6 weeks it's going to be.
When is that pay-per-view?
What, All In? That's in August.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we got.
Yeah. I mean, we'll be heading. Their next pay-per-view is going to be Revolution in March. So,
and they'll be out here in February. But it's just a house show. So nothing big.
Well, Collision.
We won't
it's a TV show.
No, it's not Collision.
Yeah, Collision. AEW Collision.
Reports I got was it was just a house show for the Super Bowl. All this people.
It's a TV show.
Is it TV taping?
Well, it's not taping. It's their live collision show.
Well, it's called a TV taping.
Well, they're not taping. It's live.
Yeah,
but it's a TV show.
Okay, cool. So it's not a house show.
No, it's not a house show.
Oh, somebody just told me the other day it was just a house show.
No, it's a TV show. It's AEW Collision.
Yeah. No, I get that now. Yeah, but
okay.
I don't know. Somebody said it. And I was like, oh, okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And then they were like, nah, it's just something he wanted to throw for all his football people that are out here. And I was like, oh, it makes sense. No, so who knows? I don't know.
That's incorrect.
Well,
that's gonna be a wild day. Pretty smart booking up Dollar Loan Center for the day before the Super Bowl. Yeah,
it should be a big show.
Good call.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Overall, and shout out to, speaking of house shows, shout out to Polly Cover, man. Last hour invited me to just the house show, WWE house show. Nothing exciting happened there. Mark's name wasn't mentioned. So next
FSW
subject.
Got a great plug.
Yeah, FSW, Joe DeFalco. Got a shout out from LA Knight. It doesn't get much bigger than that.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
It's very cool.
Yeah. That's cool. God. It was just a house show, though.
Yeah, it was a house show.
Now, you know what I like about house shows is they're more engaged with the fans. It's different. It's funner.
Yeah.
So it was good times. I can't remember the last time I went to a house show. Cannot remember. I may have been a kid.
There aren't. Yeah, they don't get around here much anymore. Most of the time, it's funny. Most of the time when they're here, it's pay-per-view, TV show.
Yeah.
Not many times we'll get just a plain old, hey, we're just here to wrestle and let's go.
House show. Yeah, it was fun though, man. A lot of good stuff. Shotzi got married. She was there.
Yeah, she eloped.
Yeah, she eloped.
And got to the show.
Showed up and had a good match. Yeah, the cage match. I mean, yeah, it was a good thing, man.
Yeah. Well, you can give us a little more of a rundown on that maybe later in the show.
Okay.
Because we have to get to a break. Because when we come back, we are going to be welcoming in the United Wrestling Network World Champ, Danny Limelight.
That's my guy. Let's go.
Always fun to have Danny on the show. Talking, of course, this AEW pay-per-view. Year in review, all sorts of great stuff. I'm Mark Hoke, the David Difference. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
Flu season is here. You and your family need to boost your superpowers. Get vaccinated. And remember, you can vaccinate your family from 6 months of age at your nearest health center, pharmacy, vaccine clinic, or certain community centers. Remember that flu can especially affect over 65-year-olds, adults with certain chronic diseases, pregnant women, and children under 5. Keep them super immune. Check with your healthcare provider or go to immunizenevada.org. With health, there is life. This message is sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your passion to serve could make a world of difference to nonprofit organizations in your local community. Organizations across Nevada are looking to fill board and committee positions with professionals like you who care about local community needs. Board Connect is a new service matching your unique talents with organizations working on issues that are important to you. In this virtual hub, there are hundreds of nonprofits whose work supports essential services and programs. Nevada Volunteers and its partners created Board Connect for individuals and communities striving for bright futures. Take a moment to register. Your service will be a meaningful investment in others and yourself. Board Connect is easy to use, and best of all, it's free. For more information and to register, go to nevadavolunteers.org. That's nevadavolunteers.org. This message, sponsored by Nevada Volunteers and Volunteers Generation Fund, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The FBI is engaged in a nationwide effort to build public awareness of hate crimes and encourage reporting to law enforcement. Hate crimes include crimes committed on the basis of the victim's perceived or actual race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. Hate crimes are not only an attack on the victim, they are meant to threaten and intimidate an entire community. If you believe you are a victim or a witness of a hate crime, we encourage you to report it to the FBI by calling 1-800 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. You may remain anonymous. Again, report suspected hate crimes by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. The FBI works to protect all victims of crimes, regardless of their country of national origin or immigration status. The FBI encourages victims and witnesses of any hate-related incident to report it to law enforcement. This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Division, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Fall is here, and with it, flu, RSV, and COVID-19 season, putting your family at risk. Vaccinate them now and give them the superpowers that will keep them healthy and safe. Remember that for flu and COVID-19, you can vaccinate your family starting at 6 months of age, and for RSV, starting at 60 years old. Check with your healthcare provider or visit immunizenevada.org and get them vaccinated. With health, there is life. This message is sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hope Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. All right, and we are just waiting to. Okay, and Dan, we're gonna have Danny in just a minute or two here.
Oh, okay.
So just hanging on in there. We'll get Danny Limelight on here
Danny
shortly.
Limelight. It's New Year's Eve, man. Let's not forget about that.
It's the morning of New Year's Eve. If it was New Year's Eve night, then it's party time.
Oh, so it's not party time? Because you said this is going to be a party.
Hey, well, woo! Come on, Dave.
This is the party? What's the last? Is this a party? I mean, yeah.
You were supposed to bring the hats and the little tutors.
Yeah. Well,
you failed.
Yeah. It's not 1992, Mark.
Those are universal, man.
Yeah. Hats and streamers. Well, I mean, yeah. Let's kick it up a little bit. So we got 2024 coming, man. You want to talk about your goals? Where we want to take this thing?
Well, we'll talk about that a little later.
Into that. We'll talk about that later.
We're waiting for. We're getting.
So we're just going to sit here. I mean, while we're waiting,
just gonna
tell me what you want to conquer in 2024.
What do I want to conquer?
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh, good. All right. Well, happy New Year. Good luck with that, man. Good luck with the media.
Just hanging on. I'm just hanging on for Danny right now. But yeah, let's see. Well, real quick while we're waiting for Danny, let me pull the.
Well,
those results. Okay. By the way, while we're hanging on for Danny, just congratulations to the Continental Classic winner, Eddie Kingston. Keeps all his belts. Knocked out John Moxley last night. Those guys hurt each other, man.
Yeah. That was brutal.
Oh man, it was funny. I was watching Ricky Tenacious, and he and I were just like cringing as those two guys decided to beat each other up last night. Yeah, good 20 plus minutes of ouch. But yeah, so Eddie Kingston in front of the hometown crowd gets himself a win and
got them belts.
Yes, he did.
That's my guy. What up, Bionic Scoop in the building? Thank you for tuning in, brother.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Yeah, so he's got 3 championship belts he walked out with. I'm still kind of not clear now about this Continental Championship, if that's actually a title. If there's another championship to defend in AEW, that's the last thing they need.
Well, they did say that all these belts are separate still.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like is it? I mean, that should be just like he won the tournament, not he's got to defend that now. I mean, I don't know.
They said he defends all of them separately.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Whatever. What do you think the current state of AEW, man? I'm just hearing all this rigmarole, man.
This helped. I mean, they I think they were trying to regroup after what happened with Punk and just kind of turned into
mi gente.
Hey, there he is. Get him in here.
Get him a proper intro, man.
Let's
get him a proper intro, Mark. You're not just gonna pop him in here.
What? We got introduced the United Wrestling Network World Champion, one of our personal favorites on the show. He is
one of ours.
He is a wrestling god. That's all there is to it. That's it. He's one of the best in the business. I mean, let's get him out there and beat up Samoa Joe. Get that belt off him
in due time, man.
Let's just do it now. Go up there and Joe's relaxing up on Long Island, and Danny can just go out and kick the crap out of him. Let's do it right now. Danny Limelight, everybody. Get him on the
Mark,
show.
You're not invited to the New Year's Eve celebration for that. Weak excuse of an introduction. If Dave didn't step up and say something, you were just gonna throw me in like I'm just some regular person like you, huh, Mark?
You are not.
Horrible.
You're about to log off. I'm coming here to do you the honor of appearing on your show on New Year's Eve. But I could be getting.
I just said you should be the. I just said you should be the AEW World Champion. What do you want?
You said that after.
Yeah. He was just gonna pop you in there. Hey, yeah. Hey,
you, Mark. I expected better.
I apologize, man. On behalf of the show, I apologize, Danny Limelight.
You know what, Mark? That's just as unprofessional as Hammerstone deciding to finally show up to work at the Rumble and ruin my chances at becoming the world champion.
Uh-oh.
Fair enough.
That's that unprofessional. He didn't show up to work all year, and all of a sudden he shows up unexpectedly and ruins my chance. I was in there for 40 minutes.
40.
Came in at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know what?
And here you are with the same level of unprofessionalism.
Well, I beat up a Grinch.
Oh boy! Don't.
Maybe you're next. You better be careful, buddy.
I was on Dave's show not too long ago, and the introduction he did was the best introduction I ever received ever.
Thank you.
Well, that's nice.
And look, Mark don't like it.
I'm happy.
I'm just saying. So it's New Year's Eve. We got one of the
New Year's Eve, baby.
We got the greatest guest of all time. He's been on here the most out of anybody, and that introduction was whack.
Danny, how's it going? What's going on with you, brother?
It's going good, man. I'm doing good, chilling. A lot of big things coming this year. Strong year for me. That just ended. I'm really looking forward to 2024. I feel good. Like I feel like shit's just now. You know how you start planting a little seeds in your garden, Mark? Mark, you like a guy that has a garden in his house. Like you would be a guy that would go out there and make sure his plants are watered and he has enough sunlight coming in on his plants. And then finally that one little tomato pops out, or that one little lime, or whatever it is that you may grow. Maybe it's marijuana. I don't know. That's legal in Vegas. I feel like now everything is about to just. Nice. Every seed that I've ever planted, everything that I've ever done, all the foundation that I've laid for the last 4 or 5 years in professional wrestling, but also the last 4 years in Hollywood. Everything has just been great this last year. In these last 3 months, I've been on a grind. I've been pushing nonstop. And now I'm like, I woke up this morning. I haven't even had my cup of Coca-Cola yet. I haven't even just done. I literally woke up and turn my computer on after brushing my teeth for you, Mark.
There it is.
You're a sweetheart, Danny. We love you.
Okay.
Call me a sweetheart again. I'll jump on a plane all over to Spirit on Spirit Airlines, as much as I hate them. Fly 44 minutes to Vegas. Walk your dog just to slap the shit out of you so you can hit the plane again.
Yeah. Oh man, had that dumb
Danny. Okay.
Now we're talking. Now we're getting
that
some
back
energy,
door
man.
Down behind you and just every bad word I want just come out my mouth while you're sitting.
Okay,
I have enough time to get there before your show's over too, so don't try me.
Okay, just to be fair, don't swear again or I'll get in trouble. Okay.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
Oh please.
Man,
you're a sweetheart, Mark.
Danny, tell everybody a little bit. You're talking about the seeds that you planted in 2023. Yes. Tell everybody a little bit about your year, because it was a pretty spectacular year for you. You've done a lot of amazing things.
The first thing that I'm going to talk about, closing in on 400 days. I've defended this belt all over California. I've defended it in Vegas. I've defended it in Mexico. I've defended it in Wisconsin. This coming Saturday, I'll be defending it in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
I'm about to go crazy. I have made my way back to reality of wrestling in Houston, Texas, with five-time, two-time Hall of Famer Booker T. I'm going to be returning again this month coming up. I have a bunch of dates lined up with them. I'm going to be doing some good business over there. And, of course, at FSW, I became the No Limits champion. I held it for about 6 months, got screwed over by a premature kid. And now, although I didn't win the Rumble because Hammerstone intervened, I have cemented myself as the future world champion at FSW. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. And now I have to figure out how to get back into that number one contender position. And I think since we're talking about FSW, we have No Escape coming up in January. Hammerstone ruined my chances at becoming the world champion, and then he disappeared again.
Right.
When is he going to show back up to work? I have an idea. I know he's a little upset that I threw him over the top rope, caused him his chances at becoming the world champion. But let's be honest. I mean, he came in at number, 26?
Yeah.
You thought he was going to have a free ride to the finish line after ruining my chances? Matter of fact, as I recall correctly, all that week, all over the internet, all over wrestling, Twitter, and the news, and Fightful, and all these places, all we hear is Hammerstone wants his release. Hammerstone wants his release. Hammerstone wants his release. So I released his big, ugly behind from the Rumble. Right?
Yep.
I did the man a favor.
Sayonara.
Released him from the duties of becoming a future FSW champion. See, but he is a former FSW heavyweight champion. I mean, he's done everything there is to do at FSW. So I suppose the only way to settle this would be me and Hammerstone inside this cage.
I like it.
No escape. If he decides to show back up to work.
This is official challenge right here?
Yeah, I'm going to challenge this big, goofy. Because you see, Hammerstone is one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet. He looks like money. He walks like money. He talks like money. And he wrestles like money. He's money. I respect him for that. But I don't respect the fact that he came and ruined my moment. He could have threw anybody. He could have lifted anybody up like that and tossed him over the top.
Yep,
but he chose me. I think I was his only elimination in the match.
Oh, yeah?
Well, that makes you special, doesn't it?
Yeah, Mark. It makes me just about as special as you.
Yeah, man. Tell me this, man. So
and that's not all, man. I think I made a record by being in that ring that long. I don't think anybody ever has been in that FSW Rumble longer than me. Until someone tells me otherwise, I'm gonna just put that longest blah, 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 whatever you want to word it, how you word it, Mark. How your people word it.
We'll get a plaque on the wall over at the arena.
40-something minutes, entered at number one. And Dave, I would have won, right?
Oh yeah.
Who was gonna beat me? Chris Bay.
Cody Young Prodigy.
Chris Bay, something special too. I got something for Chris Bay whenever he stands across the ring from me. It's been a minute. But let's see what other seeds have been planted. I'll be returning back to AAA in Mexico with my partner Slice Boogie. You know what I'm saying? Gonna do the 5150 thing out there in Mexico. Maybe we'll become AAA World Tag Team Champions. Might as well. January 14th, I'm defending this. So after I finish defending the championship in Puerto Rico and I smack around Azazel at IWA, I come and tell Theo Savio Vega, you bring this little luchador in front of me. I slapped him around. And I go bring two mamacitas from La Placita and put them in front of me. Nice. But then I come back the next day. I'll be in Long Beach defending this against Peter Avalon. Pretty Peter Avalon, an OG at United. Everybody knows Peter Avalon. What else do I got going on, man? I got
it's a big
January 4th.
What is it?
Son dropping on Netflix. The official trailer now, starring Michelle Yeoh. That comes January 4th. I just finished my short film that I wrote and produced. Wrapped it up December 16th. We finished shooting that. We in post-production now. And actually, I'm in the middle of doing some other things with this film that I'm excited for. So we're gonna see how that turns out.
I told you this guy's next level. He's a doer, not a talker, Mark.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the difference, Mark.
Yeah. That's the difference. This guy making moves, man. And we talked earlier, and it seems like everything's just coming together, even with the the Booker T situation. Just like you're moving in all the right directions, man. And hats off for the.
And I've been thinking hard lately. It's like I don't know how much longer I want to be wrestling. You know?
What?
Yeah.
Is this the final year?
I don't know.
Breaking news.
I'm technically, if we count when I first started wrestling, 2024 will be 10 years that I've been doing. I stopped for a long time because of the Marine Corps and stuff like that. But this will be technically 10 years since I started. I've been to AEW. I was a mainstay there during the pandemic. New Japan, I did it. Major League Wrestling, I did it. AAA did it. Bunch of the indies did it. Obviously, I'm the United Wrestling Network World Champion. This was my home company. Became the face. I want to go to WWE. Yeah. If that don't happen, then we'll see what else is out there. I think everybody's dream when they first saw wrestling is to go to WWE. If they say otherwise, they're a liar. But I've been thinking hard, and my body feels good still. I leaned out some weight. I'm moving the way I was moving when I was at AEW, that high intensity, high speed type stuff. I took the last month off from wrestling just to get right the way I want to get right. And I told myself I'm gonna give myself this year a solid push, see how things go. But man, I'm diving headfirst into Hollywood, bro. Like I feel like this year is gonna be big for me. I got plans with this film. We have people that are very interested in doing something big with this film, and if all goes right, we'll be filming the rest of the film. We turn it into a full feature film in Egypt. So I have that coming up.
You said Egypt?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That coming up.
Nice.
I got some other things going on with some producers that I've been talking to about certain films, certain programs, and then obviously my agent Matt has been doing God's work to get me into the right room. So.
No, that's amazing, man.
Awesome.
Sky's the limit, but tell me, like, I don't think wrestling's a thing you could just say I'm done with. Like, it's in your blood, man.
Listen, I was a diehard Marine when I was in the Marine Corps. I did 10 years to the Marine. I gave them 10 years of my life. Everybody thought I was going to retire from them. You know what I'm saying? Do the full 20 or, oh, you're this. Nope, I'm done. I want more. Mm-hmm. I'm getting to that point where, like, I need more from wrestling. And wrestling doesn't owe you nothing, right? So I gotta go hard, gotta bring it and stuff. But I feel like there's certain things that are in the way of what I really want, and if I don't get them the way I want them, then maybe what I'm saying, my time here is done. I don't want to be one of them guys that get all bitter and what I'm saying, woe is me. I'm gonna give it my all, like I always do every time I get into the ring. And if it pops off, cool, and if it doesn't, cool. Like I had a lot of fun. I'm not saying this is my last year. I'm not saying I'm retiring. I'm just saying that it might be, especially if things pick up in Hollywood or they continue the way this last 2 months were with LA and stuff like that. If those 2 months that I just had become consistent, I don't need to step into a ring ever again unless it's for a movie.
Fair enough. Well, Danny, hey, we got to take a break. Let's step aside for just a second. And when we come back, we're going to have more with Danny Limelight, the United Wrestling Network World Champion, and he's the greatest wrestler on the planet. How about that?
You still
that work for you?
New Year's Eve party.
Let's stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and here's my advice to you. Do your research. Results matter. Reputation matters. Last year alone, our team recovered over $1 billion for our clients. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited.
Call 800-602-2200. That's 800-602-2200. Call now.
Want to know how to get the same cell coverage for up to half the cost? Well, instead of spending a fortune building and maintaining their own cell phone towers, Consumer Cellular just pays to use the same towers as the largest carriers and passes the savings on to you. Pretty smart, huh? Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Half the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single-line 5 GB data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single-line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
There is one word that is consistent throughout the entire state of Nevada: community. As our state continues to grow, now more than ever, Nevadans are pulling together to help, support, and pitch in. If you or someone you know is looking to get more active in your community, Nevada Volunteers can help. NevadaVolunteers.org is an easy way to find volunteer opportunities in your area with organizations that share your passion. From working with animals, art and culture, children, or disaster relief, NevadaVolunteers.org is the gateway to many community organizations who can benefit from someone like you. Looking to help out the environment? How about equality and social justice or health and hunger issues? NevadaVolunteers.org has a full listing of volunteer opportunities in your area. To learn more about volunteering, visit NevadaVolunteers.org. This message, sponsored by Nevada Volunteers, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
We still haven't beaten COVID-19. Its new strain has caused an alarming increase in hospitalizations. Give superpowers to your family with updated vaccines from Pfizer-BioNTech or Moderna that reduce the risk of serious illness and hospitalization. Remember, you can vaccinate your children as early as 6 months of age. Check with your healthcare provider or visit immunizenevada.org and get them vaccinated. With health, there is life.
This message is sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
The LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas provides a range of health and wellness services in a safe and non-judgmental environment. You can get fast and comprehensive HIV testing, as well as screening for STIs for little to no cost. Appointments are recommended, but walk-ins are welcome. Located in the heart of Las Vegas near downtown, the center also provides an on-site pharmacy. Get more information at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Nevada is the driest state in the nation, and we must work together to preserve our limited water resources for future generations of Nevadans. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Clean up yard waste and grass clippings. Wash your car at a car wash or on grass or gravel. Apply pesticides and fertilizers sparingly in your yard. Safely dispose of household chemicals. Clean up leaks and spills. And don't litter. Secure trash in bins. Keep contaminants out of our storm drains. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in preserving Nevada's waters for future generations by visiting loveenvywaters.com and following us on social media.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Transportation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we're back on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Streaming on the Odyssey app. If you haven't downloaded that app, well, what the hell are you doing?
What the heck are you doing? Watch your language, man.
Yeah, where's the button at?
Download the app.
What the heck?
Not only can you
don't be a bozo. Download the app.
That's right.
Hear me give Mark Hoke a hard time every week.
There you go. There you go.
Danny, you don't just move out here to Vegas. What are you doing?
You gonna pay my rent?
No.
Yeah.
But you can download the Odyssey app anytime.
I had a conversation with Ice about the same exact thing, because I mean I pay almost $3,000 a month in rent.
What?
Insane.
Are you serious?
Amenities is fire though. Got a rooftop pool with palm trees and stuff like that.
Oh.
And fire pits and TVs. And then I got like a big gym. I got like 3 different like lounges and a speakeasy bar.
Yeah.
It's nice. I'm paying for the amenities. I mean, I was just thinking that, I mean, for me personally, like like Chris Bay, me personally. I was thinking about the move. It's just that everything I want is in LA, bro. Like,
yeah.
The only reason I would be going to FSW Vegas would be for FSW school.
Right.
And then and you know, but it's just, for me, it's not even, you know, like,
I think if you're in California and you're doing it, like when I moved, I didn't realize how crazy it was until I moved here. Then I was like, yeah, it's out of control. But when I was in it, it was just normal to me, you know.
Yeah.
So, and you
Vegas,
living it up.
Vegas is much more affordable. Like, I think ICE, you know, some people were telling me, ICE, a few other people were telling me that they pay like less than 2 bands a month for rent. And I'm like, bro, that's an extra, you know, 12 to 1,500 I could be saving or doing something with, you know. But it's just, then it's like so far from LA though. Like, if I get an audition or I got to come in to meet with somebody, like, it's too much work, too much of a drive, you know.
Yeah. Well, we're here for you if you need it. Man.
Yeah, we got you, Danny Limelight.
All right, Mark,
I don't want nothing to do with you anymore.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I understand.
Lazy introduction. I'm never gonna let that go. You know that, right?
Yeah,
like,
you set it off wrong, Mark.
Well, you know, the world just
had me here up at 8:30 in the morning to be on your show.
And that's the enthusiasm.
And that's the enthusiasm you gave me.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
he called me 2 days ago.
Bottles ready.
Yeah.
You know,
he called me 2 days ago. Said this is gonna be a party.
Yeah, and you didn't bring the party favors.
His idea of a party is hats and streamers. That's it.
Oh no! Please don't tell me you're the guy at midnight that does the little popper. Woo!
That's him.
Woo! Yeah.
Oh.
Danny Limelight, everybody. David Difference.
You're the guy on 4th.
What are you, Danny? Danny, what are you doing for New Year's Eve? What's on the docket for you?
Yeah.
I am gonna continue writing this script. I'm gonna hit the gym. Actually, I'm gonna hit the gym first. Right after I get done with this, I'm going to the gym, come back, get behind this keyboard, start writing some more. And then later on tonight, I'm probably gonna go out to this rooftop bar in West Hollywood or something like that, or maybe I'll end up at some spot in downtown LA. But I ain't gonna lie, like, I ain't really, you know, like, I ain't have the major plans for this night. I don't. I usually go crazy for New Year's. It's my favorite holiday, but I'm grind mode, bro. And I have been. My girl, she was like, "You've been working so much. When are you gonna take a break?" and that tone right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, look, I got things to do, man.
Yeah. I think that energy, I mean, especially with the shift, I'm talking to a lot of people, and they're like, there's just this energy going into this new year of ending something but beginning something beautiful, man. And I see it coming, man. I'm staying put tonight and focusing, writing, doing my goals.
You tune in, man. Make sure you keep tuning in. There's a bunch of stuff gonna be going. Look, I almost said it. I almost had to make you hit the button again. Going down, coming up, man. I just finished shooting for an Amazon Prime show on Call. Remember I talked to you about that. That I just finished shooting that beginning of this month. December's almost over. Yeah, earlier December I just finished filming for that, so that should be coming out hopefully by the end of the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. It was a really cool show, man. I'm excited to see what people think about it, because it's kind of like, you know how like NCIS or Law and Order, like those kind of shows they show what cops do, or, you know, like Grey's Anatomy is like all the stuff the nurses do, and but like every episode they're dealing with like a different problem. You know what I'm talking about, Mark?
Yeah.
Right. Feel free to
I'm letting you talk.
Yeah. So this show is about cops in Long Beach, LBC, but it's like raw, you know, like it stars Troyan Belisario, and she plays like this officer, and working with her, I was blown away, bro. Like, she was so raw and authentic, and we were there till about, it was like 2 something, 3, almost 3 in the morning when we got done with the scene. And the whole time, her professionalism, the way she carried herself, she was holding this big pump shotgun that couldn't have been light. You know what I'm saying? At one point, they even mounted a camera onto it at one point, and she was just to get that cool shot. and she came in kicking the door, and I was like, whoa, this is it looks raw. Like even this, I don't want to spoil nothing, but even like the stuff that happened in the scene, I was just like, man,
very cool.
You hear him playing the music?
It's a hard break.
This has been. I'm sorry for the disrespect, Danny Limelight. From the intro,
you could have told me that.
Yeah,
I'm over here talking to myself.
Mark, it's not the way we're gonna start the new year, Mark.
Danny, thank you for coming on, though, bro. I appreciate it.
Wow, now you're trying to rush me off. It's not even Mark.
Oh,
gotta go. I got 10 seconds. I gotta get out.
All right, get me out.
Take care, buddy. Happy New Year. We'll see you on the other side.
Man. Come on. All right, Danny.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Fall is here, and with it, flu, RSV, and COVID-19 season, putting your family at risk. Vaccinate them now and give them the superpowers that will keep them healthy and safe. Remember that for flu and COVID-19, you can vaccinate your family starting at 6 months of age, and for RSV, starting at 60 years old. Check with your healthcare provider or visit immunizenevada.org and get them vaccinated. With health, there is life.
This message is sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
My son stopped talking to me. He didn't want to leave his room.
I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I just wanted to be alone.
I was really worried about my daughter. She was angry all the time.
I felt so depressed.
I was really worried about my daughter. I couldn't do anything right. I was always getting yelled at.
My son told me he wanted to hurt himself. I was so scared. I was feeling hopeless. It was all too much. We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
We needed help.
I needed help. I called the Mobile Crisis Response Team, and we met with them that same day.
A crisis team came to my house and helped me talk to my parents about how I was feeling.
I called the Mobile Crisis Response Team. They met with us that day. I talked to them about how I was feeling, and it really helped.
Sometimes understanding what children are experiencing can be difficult. The Nevada Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team provides mental health intervention and support. Learn more at nocrisis.com.
This message sponsored by the FBI Las Vegas Citizens Academy Alumni Association, a nonprofit organization separate and apart from the FBI in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's some families that have not recovered at all.
People told me they did not want to get vaccinated.
People were getting their medical advice from somebody on TikTok. The sense of community is something that the world needs.
COVID taught me that
health matters.
Health matters. Visit nmhec.org. This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health and Equity, and aired in cooperation by the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
You can admit it, you're obsessed with the news, but you don't want to be that person watching TV waiting for the next news story to break. So use your ears instead with the free Odyssey app. With this station available on the free Odyssey app, you can get your local news and discover news stations from around the country. And with hundreds of podcasts also available, you can go deep into the topics you care about. Download the free Odyssey app wherever you get your apps to get the news you crave. Your news fix, your Odyssey.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K260HCS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
Is he immune or not? I'm Pam Huso,
Fox News. Special counsel Jack Smith is urging the U.S. Court of Appeals to deny immunity claims made by former President Trump in connection with his election interference case.
The Justice Department, Jack Smith, filed an argument with the U.S. District Court here in D.C., disputing that former President Trump is immune from charges related to the election interference case. Smith wrote this, quote, immunity from criminal prosecution would be particularly dangerous, whereas here the former president is alleged to have engaged in criminal conduct aimed at overturning the results of an election. Last week, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to fast-track Trump's claim of immunity that sent it back to the appeals court where it is now, and was considered a win for the Trump legal team as it could push the case beyond the 2024 election. But a delay seems to be a no-win in the separate case of Colorado's ruling that disqualifies Trump from the GOP ballot.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. More fighting between the U.S. and Houthi rebels.
U.S. Navy helicopters sank 3 Iranian-backed Houthi gunboats in the Red Sea after coming under attack. The helicopters, flying off the aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and destroyer USS Gravely, came under attack while responding to a distress call from a Danish-owned cargo ship. When the helicopters arrived on scene, they were shot at by the Houthi gunboats, according to the U.S. Military Central Command. The American helicopters returned fire, sinking 3 of the 4 small boats, killing the Iranian-backed crews. A 4th Houthi gunboat fled the scene. No Americans were harmed. Traveling with the president in St. Croix, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Israel's prime minister says the conflict with Hamas will persist for many more months. He is rejecting international calls for a ceasefire. America is listening to Fox News.
Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
I'm Ben Domenech, Fox News contributor and editor of the Transom.com daily newsletter. And I'm inviting you to join a conversation every week with the smartest thinkers out there about the issues Americans face and where we are going as a nation. This show will feature deep dive interviews with newsmakers and some of your favorite Fox News analysts. I hope you'll join me as we dive into the fray. It's the Ben Domenech Podcast.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And we are back for hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Of course, also streaming on that Odyssey app. And as I was trying to say a while ago, hey, download that app. It's got all the great shows on KDAWN and a ton from around the world. So make sure you check that out. Of course, we're also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. So get on there as well and subscribe. We'd certainly appreciate that. Like whatever. It's awesome.
Everything. Yeah. Mark.
I'm Mark Hoke and the David Difference by my side in here as well. David, how you doing today on this New Year's Eve?
Oh, what a difference a Dave makes, man. Let's kick this energy through the roof, man. Shout out to Danny Limelight. It was good having him on here.
Danny is, and I'm really excited to see what is coming for him in 2024. I mean, he is a guy that I hope that he ends up back in AEW or in WWE this year. Really deserves it. I mean, just an incredible performer, and he's one of the best mic guys in the business, period, end of story. So, I really do wish him all the best. And, of course, the acting, too, may pull him away. I mean, he's been getting a lot of opportunities, and doing very well. So
he's an alien, man. He's different. So I think whatever he does, he'll accomplish and do great things. He's the inspiration to me and the many people out there, Mark. And next time we'll write out a better intro and outro. Intro and outro. That was bad, man.
I just got to know when the clock.
Well,
got to know
he's
clock.
a guest. He ain't supposed to know it.
No, not him.
Well, yeah, shoot him out. Like, who was it when they was it Sinatra? They tried to play off from his award.
Well, I can't stop the clock, man. Can't
Well.
stop the clock. By the way, got to. I know we already said hi to Scoop in there. I want to say hi to Jesse Hyde in there, and just real quick, had a question about. Said Sasha Banks, of course, performing under Mercedes Moné now. WWE about to set a crazy start to 2024. And by the way, where's Sasha Banks? Is she still trolling? AEW already said no, and apparently WWE is not happy with the negotiations there either. So
AEW said it's a no-go.
Yep. And WWE, apparently she threw a number out that they didn't like either.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're being more, all companies now should be, after learning from that Punk thing, be strategic. They're not going to let out info.
Yeah, but
it's going to pop up. Royal Rumble's coming. They got a women's Rumble?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you have it.
Yeah. She's trying to get Charlotte money. I don't know if she's going to get that, but we'll see. But looking forward to having Rick Ucchino coming on the show, of course, from all over the place in wrestling. That guy is everywhere. So we're going to get to talk to him about what happened last night and getting ready for looking back on 2023 and going forward in 2024. And what a year 2023 was, Dave. I mean, some really high highs and some yeah.
In the world of wrestling?
Yeah.
Or personally.
Well, what happened on this side of the mic doesn't matter. What happened out there is what's important. But, I look at the business, I think, has never been better. We had some unbelievable moments. Of course, WrestleMania 39 was unbelievable. We had All In at Wembley Stadium this year, AEW putting on, the biggest wrestling show of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then of course we had some moments like CM Punk's firing and then rehiring. We had, Sami Zayn going crazy, and then poof, Sammy's kind of now.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Just some weird things happening. Just it's been strange.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, now we're here in December, we're going into a new year, but I think everything just kind of like they set the bar, and like everybody's excited, especially with WWE, what's going to happen 2024, all this talent that they got going. It should be a magical year, man. There's so many possibilities, which makes it exciting,
Yeah, I think there's a lot of possibilities in both organizations at this point. And we do have our guests, so I think we can bring him in and start talking about that.
Cool. Do you want to?
Well, yeah, he's ready to roll. So let's get
Hi.
in here. Our good friend Rick Ucchino. Of course, he's all see. Look, he's got a list under his name there on the live stream.
Okay.
Look at that.
I got
a little bit of everything.
Look at that. Sports Illustrated, SB Nation. I mean, it's just
Can you hear us
everywhere.
Yeah, I got you. I'm clear.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
his mic wasn't on.
The man just does everything, and look at the Funko Pops there too. I haven't seen your studio in a while, buddy. Holy cow!
Yeah, I got it's my tiny little corner where I get to put all my crap. But yeah, so there's a lot more up here that y'all can't see. That's out of the view of the camera. So
let me guess, your wife sticks you in a closet for this, right?
No, absolutely not. Actually, this used to be just like a dank rundown room underneath my porch in my basement. And then when the pandemic hit, I needed an at-home studio in case I needed to work from home for any reason. So me and my dad built this studio out of that dank cellar room underneath my porch. So that's where I'm sitting right now. It's our joint combined office. So Yeah. Because the kids, the kids own 75% of the house. And now after Christmas, they own 85% of the house. So yeah, this is where I get to keep all my little stuff.
Very good. So, Rick, what did you think of last night? Of course, AEW Worlds End. Just it was an interesting pay-per-view. I'll say that.
I think they nailed the last 3 matches. I think the last 3 matches made the night. I think everything else before that, with the exception of the women's title matches, I could have seen on Dynamite. Like, I get it. It was good. It just felt like a lot of it felt very much like a B pay-per-view, kind of like a WWE Payback or Fastlane or something like that. Couple of big storylines to tie everything together. Obviously, you had the big ending with the Devil reveal and Max losing to Samoa Joe and all that stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into. But this is part of the territory, I think, because AEW, as they continue to add pay-per-views, they're not all gonna be home runs. All right, like that. When they had their 4-year model, they were crushing it every single time. Everything was planned out well. They had plenty of time to build to things that mattered in advance. And this, when you start doing a pay-per-view every couple of months, you're going to have a couple of downers every now and again. But it was still a good show. Was it worth the $56 I paid for it? I don't know, but
should have come to the theater. That's what I did. I paid $20.
Yeah, that's a deal right there.
Not bad. Well,
I'll say this much. In 2024, they definitely need to figure this out, because when I can get both nights of WrestleMania for $5 and I'm paying $50 to watch World's End,
yeah.
That's another reason why you're not growing. That's another reason why they're not growing the audience right now.
Yeah, they got to get that Max deal done. That's what they need to do.
That would be a game changer for them, 100%.
So I want to ask both of you guys this, because, and Dave, I know that you were kind of like, yeah, Adam Copeland's in AEW. That's great. Now, last night we had a wild match with Christian and Adam Copeland. Adam wins the title for about a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Kill switch comes at. I'm sorry.
Was it even that? It felt like 30 seconds, and it was.
Yeah. It's kind of. Yeah. I'm not going to make that joke. But. And then, of course, Kill Switch, who had won a title match earlier in the night on that Battle Royal, comes out and gives the contract to Christian. Christian ends up using it, takes the title back, and, a great match. Everybody was going crazy and loving that match. That one actually, in the theater I was in, was getting applause. One of only a couple of them last night. And that feud is going to continue, it looks like. And it was pretty intense. I mean, one of the, might have been the best match on the card yesterday. So let me ask both of you guys this. Are you excited as this feud continues to build? I mean, this could end up being the main battle on the card for a while, especially with both Adam Cole and MJF out for a while.
Yeah, I think, well, obviously both tremendous talents, and everybody that I'm hearing said that was the match of the night. I think we're looking at possibly, obviously, a third match coming up, and I don't know how much further you take it after that, but they're definitely ramping it up, and I think it's something that everybody's excited to see again. But I don't know how long do you think they draw that out? I think one more match, and let's settle this thing.
If they're going to keep doing what they did last night, screw it. Just keep going.
Keep going.
Just keep going. Keep going. Like, this is what I've want. Like, this is the Christmas gift I never thought I was going to get, right? Like, just 3 years ago, both of these guys were retired. 3-4 years ago, whatever it was now at this point, they were retired. They were never coming back. And now, after the pandemic Royal Rumble, we get that beautiful hug moment between these two guys in the ring. And I'm like, oh my God, we're finally going to get a one last run of Edge and Christian. And then Christian's like, nope, I'm going to AEW.
Right.
And I'm like, man, we're never going to get this. We're never going to get this. And then the unthinkable happens. Edge no longer, Adam Copeland goes over to AEW, and these two guys are now getting to make up for lost time. So, they haven't been able to work with each other for 14 years.
Yeah.
Let them go as long as they like, especially if they keep putting out good stuff.
Keep going. Yeah, I can see him tagging again. I mean, there's a lot that can still be done. Yeah. So
if Tony Khan doesn't give us one more Hardy's Edge and Christian match, like what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That was my suggestion last night. I was waiting for a Hardy's run-in. I wanted a Hardy's run-in.
Anything with the Hardys. Like I know Jeff has had his issues since joining the AEW, but like he ain't doing nothing with them right now. Like nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, but if you didn't see it, it was a fantastic match last night, and I'm up for more of that. That is for sure. Of course, Eddie Kingston wins the Continental Classic last night. I'm still confused on if this is a tournament championship belt or if this is a new title in AEW. God forbid. I do not want that. But, still a great win for Eddie Kingston in front of the hometown crowd, Rick. And, where does this put Eddie now? I'm curious to see how far this will go for Eddie Kingston and where it takes him in his career.
I don't know. Like, do we see Eddie becoming AEW World Champion one day? Like, do we see that coming to fruition? I feel like this whole run over the last several months was to give Eddie his flowers. Like this is, I don't want to say that he's peaked, but it kind of feels like this is as far as he can go, but he could prove me wrong. He's proved many people wrong over the course of his career. I love him to death. I think he's authentic. You believe every word that he says on the microphone. He shows you don't have to look like, Chris Masters to be an ass kicker in the wrestling ring. So it's like, I enjoy Eddie Kingston a lot. Him beating John Moxley last night to win the Continental Classic, which I do believe is another championship for AEW. Plus on top of that, he's still the Ring of Honor World Champion and he's the New Japan Strong Open Champion. I don't know how that's going to work, but he's a perfect ambassador to move between New Japan and Ring of Honor and AEW and defend those championships. Like this is his time. This is his flower moment, his parade. This is what he's going to get to do for the next several weeks and months. And I don't know if it gets any higher for him, but I'm rooting for him. That's for sure.
Dave, what'd you think?
I'm a huge fan of Eddie Kingston, so hats off to him. Yeah, and again, it's like where does it go from here? Is it the swan song? I don't know, but I think it's still got legs as to where he can go. Like he's definitely one of my favorites, and his mouthpiece is incredible. So, and like you said, you buy everything he says is like, you're buying it, you're feeling it. You understand his passion. So yeah, hats off to him.
Now we had the reveal of the devil last night, and I think most of us thought it was going to be Adam Cole. Got a fun group around him, and I'm going to ask you both you guys this question, and Rick, I think I fired this at you on Twitter a little bit, but I want to take the whole thing a little deeper because this storyline I think is going to really resonate more than I think people realize at this moment, because when you look at I think everybody's been hurt by somebody in their life, right? Where someone that you care about's betrayed you or, broken your heart. And well, it's true.
All right.
Right?
Continue.
And when you think about where this is going to end up going, when you're going to start seeing these videos come out of, man, I'm Adam Cole, and you know what? Look what I did to this guy. I turned him in for being this cold-hearted killer, and I got him doing kangaroo kicks and doing all this crazy stuff, and I made him into somebody he's not, and then I ripped his heart out, and I tore him to shreds. But then there's going to be another side to it, and you know why I did it? Because he's an evil son of a gun. Look at all this stuff he did to everybody. He's the villain. I'm not the villain. He's the villain. You're going to have two sides to this story. And it's going to be interesting to see, because traditionally this would be, MJF's the good guy. But that Adam Cole is going to present this as, I'm the good guy.
Well, everybody's the hero of their own story.
Right.
And that's why this story is so compelling and it's been so successful, is because it's not cut and dry. It's very, very nuanced. There's a lot of layers to this. And yeah, everything you said is correct. I fully expect Adam Cole to come out there, cut a promo about everything, dirty, nasty thing that MJF has ever done. And here's the thing, though. MJF has never denied the fact that he is a dirty scoundrel, sleaze bag, whatever you want to call it. He has fully admitted openly and honestly about not only though what he has done, but why he has done it. And during this babyface run, he's really opened up and given us several Heath Ledger Joker style backstories to why he is the way that he is,
right.
And being picked on as a kid and not having very many friends. And, people start to relate to him. They're like, okay, we get it. This guy's always been an a-hole out in public, but we kind of understand it. And now he's our a-hole, right? What Adam Cole did was just absolutely slimy, sleazy, vindictive. It was manipulation at the highest order. This man enacted a plan over the last several months to strip MJF of everything that made him successful, made him care about things, made him do things he would never do, like defend tag team titles for Ring of Honor in a handicap match on a show where he's also defending the AEW World Championship. MJF from 2 years ago never would have done that. He would have flipped you the bird and said, why do I even have to wrestle once on this show, let alone twice and once in a handicap match? This guy, and I said this on Twitter, Adam Cole gave the Grinch a heart and then ripped it out of his chest. That's exactly what he did. He turned MJF into a vulnerable little puppy, and then he kicked him. That is exactly what he did, and that is why people are going to cheer for MJF. MJF has always said who he is. Adam Cole has been an a-hole behind in the shadows, and I think that's why you're going to have people that are going to still cheer MJF moving forward.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And watching, I wasn't a huge fan of the buddy, lovey-dovey stuff and the kangaroo kicks and all that. But if you watch it as the whole story, like it's a beautiful story that's been told, and now you got so many avenues that they could take after this. But in the midst of it, I think I was just watching it from a hardcore fan. It's like, I don't like this style, but if you look at the story that's been told, I think it's magical, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where these two take it, man.
Yeah, I mean that's part of why. I mean, it was fun, but as I was seeing it in the background and realizing that it, because Dave, that I was saying this from the beginning, that Adam Cole is going to tear him to shreds. And what's the best way to tear somebody to shreds? You get inside their heart, right? You get in there and you get into the deepest part of their psyche and make them feel like, man, I got a friend, I got somebody that cares about me. And then you just,
right. Kind of like me and you.
I don't know.
Well, it hasn't yet to reveal itself, but yeah. We're leading to that. That's our storyline.
I better get that Fiend mask out like Rick got sitting over there. But yeah. And like I said, I think that's part of why this story is, I think, over the next 7 or 8 months, because I think this will end up being the main event at All In coming up. Why I think the storyline is going to resonate so much with people as it goes along, because it's going to be very identifiable and it's going to carry for a long time. I really believe it. So we've got that with AEW, and then we've got what's going to be going on with WWE as we get through the Rumble and the final conclusion with Roman Reigns. This is going to be a lot of fun in the next few months. And that's part of what we're going to talk about coming up here more with my good friend Rick Ucchino as we roll on here on the Mark Hoke Show. So let's get a little break in. And we're going to talk about some stuff that happened in 2023 and what's coming up in 2024 here on the Mark Hoke Show with Ucchino and David Difference. And myself, Mark Hoke, here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. So stick around, everybody. We will be right back.
Listen to the Texas Corners Bible Church every Saturday night at 11 p.m. and Sunday night at 10 p.m. on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDAWN.
You're pregnant. And no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't stop using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco. But no matter how lost you are, how far along you are, it's not too late. There's always hope, and there are many safe places that can help you stop using. In Nevada, pregnant women are given the highest priority for substance use treatment. Low-cost treatment options may be available so you and your baby can get healthy now. If you or someone you love is pregnant or thinking about getting pregnant and using alcohol, drugs, or tobacco, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 to find help today. SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org also has resources for healthcare providers, friends, and family. If you want to help someone who's pregnant and using, visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211 today. Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Flu season is here. You and your family need to boost your superpowers. Get vaccinated and remember you can vaccinate your family from 6 months of age at your nearest health center, pharmacy, vaccine clinic, or certain community centers. Remember that flu can especially affect over 65-year-olds, adults with certain chronic diseases, pregnant women, and children under 5. Keep them super immune. Check with your healthcare provider or go to immunizednevada.org. With health, there is life.
This message is sponsored by Immunize Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nevadans, you are not alone. If you or someone you care about is experiencing thoughts of suicide, feelings of anxiousness, or battling any other mental health crisis, we are here for you. Introducing 988, the new 3-digit dialing code for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 988 connects you to compassionate, confidential support for free. You may remember this as the former National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which has answered millions of calls and helped people overcome mental health-related distress. 988 is the same trusted, confidential resource. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and get you additional help if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are never alone in crisis. Just call, text, or chat 988.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
To get all rules and information for contests on KDAWN, visit our website at kdwn.com/contest-rules.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here in Las Vegas and planet-wide, because that's what we do.
Worldwide, man. Planet-wide?
Well, world, planet.
Yeah, universe, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and we'll bring Rick along, too. That's what we do. We've got a great orbit of people, and we've been very fortunate over this past year to have some amazing guests and friends on the show, and of course Rick Ucchino, one of the best in the business. Ain't no doubt about that.
Well, you don't have to butter me up. It's all right.
What you've been in this business? What, over 15 years now?
Oh, geez. Let's see. Yeah.
Right. So as we go into 2024, like what's next? What are you looking forward to? What are the goals?
Tell you what, man, like I'm really excited to getting back to covering baseball more on a regular basis. I just like the last time that I really, because I get to cover the Cincinnati Reds a little bit at my day job, 700 WOW in Cincinnati, but not much because I'm in the news department. I'm not in the sports department. So I get to talk about them a little bit. I haven't had the opportunity to like really talk to the players or get in the locker room or tell any kind of stories surrounding the game of baseball since before I started working at LW over a decade ago. So hopping on with Sports Illustrated's new Reds website, Inside the Reds, and getting to hop in there. I just did a conversation with former Reds catcher Devin Mesoraco not that long ago, catching up with him because he's now an assistant coach at the University of Pittsburgh. Just getting to do that and getting back in the locker room again, because totally different animal covering pro wrestling and then covering a quote unquote real sport. Not that I'm diminishing pro wrestling in any way, shape, or form, but it's fun. I'm looking forward to getting to do that some more, as well as going to my fourth consecutive WrestleMania, and I'll be at the Royal Rumble in Tampa. And I think I'm going to Revolution because I want to catch Sting's last match in Greensboro. But yeah, we'll see. I'm just trucking along, man. That's all I can. That's what I'm looking forward to doing.
There you go, making moves, man. I like it. I think we're going to WrestleMania this year, ain't we, Mark?
We're
no.
we're still debating because we have another offer on the table.
Yeah. So
we see, might I'm lucky because if it's within 8 hours, I'm driving. So and I live in Cincinnati, which is like literally the heart of the Midwest. Like there are so many cities that are within driving distance for me. So, and I'm actually driving to Tampa because
are you?
I am, because I can hop on I-70. I can hop on I-75 South, and I don't have to get off the highway until I reach Tampa, Florida. So it's
nice.
A long drive.
Yeah, what's the drive time on that?
But it's an easy drive, so I'm good.
How long is that drive?
13.
13. Oh yeah. Me and Mark drove to LA and we were ready to kill each other. I can imagine 13 hours.
What's the Vegas to LA drive? Is that like 4 hours or like 8?
It was 3.5, 4 hours. Yeah, 3.5, 4 hours. And it was not good, man. So I don't think we could do much more than that.
Here's the best thing about those drives, though. Here's the best thing, because I have 2 kids, both under the age of 5 and 3, right? I'm gonna get in the car. I'm going to turn off the radio and I'm going to listen to the sound of my tires on the road for 13 straight hours. And it is going to be bliss. It is going to be bliss.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that went on last year. And let me get both of you guys' opinion.
Mark?
Well, I want to ask you guys a little bit about who you think the wrestler of the year was and what makes that award, because you have so many different people giving their criteria for what makes the wrestler of the year. I heard Jim Cornette say, well, it was the top guy in the top company. And I really feel like there's more to it than that. So if you were picking the person who was the wrestler of the year, who is that person for 2023? And I'll start with you, Rick.
Male, female, both.
Let's go. Well, let's do both. I mean, if you were picking one person,
MJF and Becky Lynch.
Wow, Becky Lynch, huh?
Yes. Overall body of work, I think Becky has just had the better year of anybody else, and I would think her next closest competition is Rhea Ripley. Now, that is not a knock on Rhea's year. I think Rhea has had a spectacular year. And I think she is on the verge of being the biggest star in the entire company. So I'm fully expecting, if we're on this show a year from now, it's going to be a landslide victory for Rhea Ripley. But I just look at the overall body of work for Becky. When you look at marquee opponents, marquee matches, the abbreviated run that she had with the NXT Women's Championship, where, yeah, it was 8 weeks long, but every single match that she had helped was there was a purpose. It was to help elevate somebody. And she went out there and she had great match after great match after great match. Where Rhea has faltered is the fact that she hasn't had the Batman to her Joker. She has not had a big rival or a big feud this entire year. She has been used more to elevate Judgment Day on the men's side of things than she has as the world heavyweight champion for the women's division. And that's not any fault of her own. That is completely the fault of the creative booking of the rest of the women's locker room on Monday Night Raw for the past year, until Triple H recently took over and realized, oh, we got some work to do. Let me start building up some of these other women on the roster because they're really, really talented. So through no fault of her own, Rhea has suffered from the fact that she hasn't had that one person to really kind of have that memorable feud, where Becky, it wasn't perfect. It had its ups and downs, but that feud with Trish, culminating with one of the greatest cage matches I have ever seen, men or women involved, for me, gives her the nod. And I think MJF, the guy's just carried AEW this year. I mean, he has carried AEW this year. He has been the focal point, the guy, multiple segments, multiple stories. The promos always hit. His title defenses have been great. The culmination of the story with him and Adam Cole last night, the guy fighting through injury after injury towards the end of the year. For me, again, just an overall body of work thing. You could sit here and say, oh, well, the top guy for the top company, Roman's the man. Roman is absolutely the man, but am I going to give him Pro Wrestler of the Year when he's wrestled like 6 matches? Am I going to do that? I love Roman Reigns to death, and I think less is more with him. But overall body work, I'm giving it to MJF. I'm giving it to Becky.
Wow. David, what do you think?
No, I agree with the MJF, like spot on with everything he said. Like he's definitely a workhorse and just has evolved that company and stayed consistent. So MJF, and we can't forget about the biggest comeback, of the year when Nia Jax came back. And
I like Nia signing. She's exactly what they needed on Monday Night Raw, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think it's good stuff. But I mean, if you look at Impact, and obviously I'm a CM Punk guy, like and if you take a step back and you look at like obviously his in work and his mic skills is ridiculous. But if you look at all the drama behind the scenes and put that into a wrestling storyline, could have been one of the greatest like storylines we've seen over the year. And the comeback was just huge, and the impact that he's made on in such a short time being back it's ridiculous.
See, that would be an interesting argument that you could make an argument and say that CM Punk was the wrestler of the year, even though he had all this trouble, just because of the impact that he had on both of those companies.
Right.
I would almost look at it as a like a Times Man of the Year kind of thing, where he wasn't necessarily the performer of the year, but he was definitely the guy that drove the headlines. Like he was the most influential wrestling figure this year. Hands down, period, end of story. Like there's no competing with that.
Yeah. And I think and brought so many new eyes, and I think with the new venture for WWE and when the merger there, they changed the rules for this guy, and he came back and he seems like he's way happier. So, I think it's a fairy tale
He's
ending.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
It's his last shot, man. He got to be happy. He's got to play by the rules. He's got to be Mr. Smile and let me sit here and help everybody. Because if there's another ugly divorce, he ain't getting married a fourth time. Like this is it.
Well, how much do you think of that? Is I mean, you hear the rumblings AEW, like it's not the most professional environment people have been in. How much do you think of that was just him being in an environment that wasn't conducive for somebody that's been in the business for years? Because we saw him right when he got in the fight and got let go. He was at Cauliflower Alley Club the next day, like in great spirits, like just happy dude. He just seemed happy for somebody that went through so much drama. So how much do you think that played in the AEW situation?
I think atmosphere is everything with CM Punk, and it's impossible for me to sit here and pinpoint exactly what it is because I'm not behind the scenes, and I don't report news, and I don't talk to people. I'm not a drama type guy, so I'm not going to speculate on everything that did happen. But just from everything that I have seen surrounding CM Punk, I don't think he's this terrible human being. I don't think he's a bad guy. What I think he is stubborn. What I think he is prideful. And if he feels like he is right, and if he feels like he is just, the man doesn't know how to pick his battles. And like this man was allegedly got in a fist fight with Jack Perry before the biggest match of his freaking career in front of 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium, with Samoa Joe saying, dude, we're on. Get your ass out here. We're on. Like, what are you doing? Right. Like those kinds of things. I think CM Punk in the right environment where he feels valued, where he feels like people are listening to him, and frankly, where he's not to, say that he's been neutered or anything, but when he's on a bit of a leash, he knows he can't, like, he knows if he goes out into the yard too far, he's going to get tugged back. Right. So I think that's where he's at. So that's where he's at right now. Obviously things have been cleared up enough between him and Seth Rollins that we're going to get that CM Punk elite level rivalry in WWE. Just insert Seth Rollins instead of the elite. And it's going to be money for WWE.
There you have it. Were you how shocked were you when he came back? Like, were you one of the people? Because I had people tell me, "Don't get your hopes up; it's not going to happen." Right. Were you one of the guys that didn't see that happening?
I didn't think there was a prayer. Like, did not think there was a prayer. Like when that show ended, I'm sitting here. I'm like, I almost turned the TV off.
Yeah.
Like I'm like the only reason I saw the return is that I could not find my remote. Like I bent down underneath my chair to like find the remote, and I swear to God, it was like something out of a sitcom. I heard the and I almost hit my head trying to like gave myself a hit. I was like, what the? Like that's pretty much what it was. And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I cannot believe that happened. To me, that's more shocking than WWE being sold. That's more shocking to me than Vince McMahon retiring, because I thought those two things, they would take a long time to happen, but I always thought they were inevitable.
Right.
I never thought I'd see CM Punk in a WWE ring again, let alone him getting on a microphone and saying, "I'm home. This is where I belong." Shut the hell up.
Jeez, come on.
Shut the hell up. But I love how they're turning that around, and Seth Rollins is like, "Don't you dare call this place home." But, so yeah, no, that to me was the moment of the year. That was shocking. That's something I never thought I'd see again. It was surreal.
So what are you looking forward to in 2024 in pro wrestling? I mean, it seems like the industry is in such great shape. We've got some terrific stuff coming up with AEW now, the Rumble and WrestleMania, with WrestleMania 40 happening, which I'm sure is going to be an incredible affair. We've even got TNA coming back. I mean, this is going to be an amazing year, and with some unbelievable events coming up, especially early in this calendar year. What do you think we're going to see, bud?
Unpredictability, because this is a huge year for contracts. This is a big free agent year in pro wrestling, and you're starting to see WWE try to lock up people. Maybe not officially official, but they're inking Cody Rhodes to a big money deal. They re-signed Charlotte. They re-signed Bayley. They re-signed Zelina Vega. You got Seth Rollins' contract, which is coming up. You got Becky Lynch's contract, who's coming up. There's a lot of free agents in AEW, I do believe, as well. This is the fun part for me of having actual competition, is now the back and forth, because we still to this point have only had technically 3 people. I don't really count CM Punk, but technically 3 people jump from AEW over to WWE, where if you look at most of the roster in AEW now at this point, it's all former WWE people. So I'm interested to see the whole back and forth. I'm interested to see where Sasha Banks ends up. I know we had reports that she had some contract negotiations with WWE, but those fell through. Those can always be re-upped. I'm seeing people on Twitter like celebrating the fact that she's not coming back to WWE, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, guys, is she gonna get that money in TNA? I don't think so. All right, is she gonna go over to AEW? With the women's division is getting better, but you still look at the state of the women's division. Like, is she gonna trust Tony Khan's booking of the women's division and think, oh yeah, maybe I'm the missing piece? Like, Soraya's a bit player at this point, and I thought she would be the person that would instigate change in the WWE or in the AEW women's division. So it's like, I feel like eventually those two are going to, until I see her show up in somebody else's company, I still think those two sides are eventually going to come to terms. It may just take a little bit longer, or she goes back to New Japan. But I'm interested to see that. And yeah, my biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is Cody beating Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania to finally live the dream. And then 5 minutes later, Damian Priest cashes in on him, and we start his road to adversity all over again.
That's the prediction.
That's what I'm going with right now. That is a dusty finish if I've ever seen one before. He finally freaking does it, and then here comes Damian Priest to cash in and steal the title.
Yeah, what I'm thinking. Classic.
Oh, and that's going to be the fun part.
A freaking like 4-year title reign ends finally, and then the next guy has it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
insane.
And that's going to be the fun part about this WrestleMania season. We have no idea. None. This is going to be a wild next 4 months in WWE for sure. Yeah. Well, Rick, hey, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We really do appreciate it. Tell everybody where they can find you, my friend.
One Stop Shop is at Twitter, at Rick Ucchino, like you see on the screen there, or for those who are listening on the air, RickUcchino. That's where you can find all my work for Sports Illustrated, SB Nation, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm also on Instagram, but I don't use that as much. Same handle.
Okay.
All right. Well, Rick, thank you for coming on the show, and
Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, same to you guys. Appreciate it.
And thank you for everything. We do appreciate it. And if we do get out to WrestleMania, I'll look forward to seeing you again.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we'll bump into each other again down the road, my friend.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Take care, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Be safe, man.
You got it. All right, everybody. There you go, Rick Ucchino. What an awesome dude.
Good people.
Yeah. We all got to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Yeah. See?
We're mature. What do you mean, see? Don't get me started, Mark. This is the last episode before I can go back to my heel status.
Oh, brother.
So get used to it, Mark. Holidays over, man.
We're having fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
All right. Well, we got to get our last break in on episode 150 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. So we're going to take our final break. Got a couple stories to cover, including Chris Jericho might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we mention that and all sorts of other little fun stuff. So stick around, everybody. We've got a lot more to talk about before we wrap up the show, and want to wish everybody a Happy New Year coming up tonight, too. So stick around on the Mark Hoke Show here on
Happy
KDAWN.
New Year coming up tonight.
Yeah. It's New Year's Eve.
Well, it's now.
That's tomorrow.
It's New Year's now.
What are you
New Year's
talking
Eve. It's
about?
New Year's Eve now.
We'll
We said
be
tonight.
right
Coming
back.
up tonight. Whatever.
For 30 years, the LGBTQ Center of Nevada has been a safe and welcoming place to celebrate and serve the entire community. The center advocates for the empowerment and safety of everyone. It provides wellness services for better mental, physical, and holistic health. And the center connects people to the community. Learn more at thecenterlv.org. This message is sponsored by a grant through the Sands Corporation, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nevadans, you are not alone. If you or someone you care about is experiencing thoughts of suicide, feelings of anxiousness, or battling any other mental health crisis, we are here for you. Introducing 988, the new 3-digit dialing code for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. 988 connects you to compassionate, confidential support for free. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and get you additional help if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are never alone in crisis. Just call, text, or chat 988.
This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Understanding the many things in a mother's life affecting her pregnancy is important. You can help improve the health of all mothers and babies in Nevada by completing a Pregnancy Risk Assessment Monitoring System survey about your recent pregnancy. Also known as PRAMS, the survey is from the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The survey asks new moms about their experience before, during, and after pregnancy. Responses are confidential and used to help improve the health of mothers and babies in Nevada. If you receive a PRAMS survey, please share your story. Learn more at nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. That's nvprams.dpbh.nv.gov. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
I've never seen it like this.
We've lost a lot of loved ones in our family.
I lost some family members to COVID.
So many of my patients pass away from COVID.
People dying. It didn't matter your color, your race, your sex.
Death has no particular color. It comes after us all.
Every human life has value. Just does.
COVID taught us
health matters.
Health matters. Visit nmhec.org. This message funded by a grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health and Equity, and aired in cooperation by the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
Financial literacy is the best equalizer and fastest path out of situational and generational poverty. Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada has led the way in teaching financial and workforce education to students in kindergarten through 12th grade. But Junior Achievement can't do it alone, so we invite the business community and general public to join us by investing in youth today to prepare them for the business of life. There are many ways to get involved by sponsoring, donating, or volunteering. You can change the future for all Nevadans. Learn more at jasnv.org. This message is sponsored by the Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station. Learn more at jasnv.org. That's jasnv.org.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we return for the final segment of 2023.
Of 2022.
What are you talking about?
Mark, you're irritable today.
said
For it being New Year's, there's so
2023.
many new things on the horizon, man. You're very irritable today. It's supposed to be a
talking
party.
about
Mark calls me
2022.
3 days ago and says, this is going to be the biggest party of the year.
Well,
and look at us. Sober, sad.
well, we're not
sober and sad.
Well, we're not going to get drunk on the air and
No.
8 o'clock in the morning.
It's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you said,
early
party.
on
You
New
said
Year's.
party. Well,
Yeah,
you
well,
should have said we're just going to have a nice, respectable episode. And we could at least have some coffee up in here. How about that?
I got some Powerade. I'm good.
There's a lot to get to. We got very limited time, man.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Danny Limelight.
Awesome, dude.
That's my guy.
I'm a Danny Limelight guy.
Yeah. Not so much.
Oh, stop it.
I don't know, man.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Well, yeah, if you were watching the pay-per-view last night, you might have seen a sign that said Worlds NDA
Yeah.
that they kept cutting away from, which stands for a no disclosure agreement.
Mm-hmm. Non-disclosure.
Or non-disclosure, excuse me. Well, that is from an accusation that Nick Hausman, the podcaster, made, that saying that Chris Jericho apparently had a situation where he invited wrestler Kylie Ray up to his hotel rooms. Apparently some people said, go up and see Chris. There's going to be some people up there. Chris wanted to see you. And Chris was alone, and Kylie got in there. And Chris apparently is accused of hitting on her.
Okay.
And she left. Nothing happened. Of course, the story's being denied.
Well, is that it? He was hitting on her? Like he was trying to holler at her?
Made a pass.
What does that mean? Is that like, yo?
Hit on her.
Yeah. Is that a bad thing?
Well,
how do you?
Well, Chris is married.
Oh.
But yeah, obviously an awkward situation when you're working with somebody.
Mm.
So, supposedly everybody signed NDAs, and according to what was revealed by Nick Hausman. So that's where all those signs came from last night. And they did ask about it in the scrum last night. So, yeah.
Well, they said, so everything I heard was the NDA thing was a Twitter beef he was having with a lawyer. Because they were saying that nobody could talk about the brawl out situation. And he said, I didn't sign an NDA. And he said, you should have, or you did. And then that's how the NDA, I didn't.
Yeah, there's talk about this whole thing too. So, yeah, it's a mess. But
what do we say? That could be bad. They said there's a lot of skeletons in the closet of Jericho.
Yeah, once again, and anything like this, take it with a grain of salt. That's all I'm going to say about that. You can't. A lot of people were booing Jericho at the pay-per-view last night,
right?
And it's one of those things where until there's stuff gets proven. I mean, we've seen these stories many times recently where guys get accused of things, and not saying one or the other's lying, but reserve judgment.
Yeah, we're hearing from a third party of what he says happened. Who knows?
So,
but, I mean,
yeah.
who knows? Man?
Who knows?
I don't care as long as it ain't me. That's all I care about.
You remember the all those epileptic cutaway scenes in WWE by Kevin Dunn?
Oh yeah,
they're done forever.
Yeah,
they're done because Kevin Dunn's done.
He's out of there.
He's out of there. Kevin Dunn is leaving WWE.
Never thought we'd see the day.
I never thought I'd see the day either, but Dunn told WWE around Christmas week he is leaving the company. Apparently he said he was never going to do anything that was dictated to him by the new TKO Group Holdings, and he is out of there. So Kevin Dunn finished.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, he said he only wanted to work under Vince. So, what else?
Yeah.
That's strange when the shakeups come, because I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that's going to evolve from that or dissolve from that. But it's crazy when you got that merger and a whole different perspective. I don't think Punk would have came back if that hadn't happened.
No, I don't. Vince would never let him come back. Never let him come back. We have lost Killer Khan. So, of course, you may remember him from the big feud he had with Andre the Giant back in the early 80s. They did that thing where the Khan broke Andre's ankle. But the wrestler known as Killer Khan, Masashi Ozawa, has passed away at the age of 76. So I want to wish the family all the best.
R.I.P.
And by the way, don't forget, of course, TNA Hard to Kill coming up January 13th and 14th pay-per-view. The Hard to Kill is on the 13th, and then the Snake Eyes TV tapings on the 14th. I'm sure we'll have more on that as we go forward the next couple of weeks. And that is it.
Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe out there.
Yeah, please be smart. Do not drink and drive tonight.
Call Mark.
You might actually end up calling me tonight.
He's keeping them safe like Batman.
You got it. Thanks, David Differs. Thanks, Rick Ucchino and Danny Limelight for joining us on the show. Guys, we will see you next week on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. Have a great, happy New Year and welcoming in 2024. We'll see you next week. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.